Another full slate of high school hoops this evening featuring a thriller on Husky Highway. We begin tonight's roundup there. It's rivalry night. Andrew Slusser and East Fairmont head to North Marion to take on the Huskies, who went on an absolute tear in the first quarter. About a minute to go in that period. Micah Parrish takes it to the hole and finishes. He helped the Huskies take a 19-5 lead through one. Then in the second, allow us to introduce you to Jude Akabizi. He's 6'9" and likes to bring down the house. A massive day locally for sports, not just because it's National Signing Day, but because a top 25 men's basketball matchup came to Fairmont. Unbeaten number 2, Fairmont State hosts number 16 Wheeling Jesuit in a Mountain East Conference showdown. Let's get right to it. AA number 1 Bridgeport hosts number 5 Fairmont Senior in a rematch of last year's semifinal. The Indians enter the night 2 wins away from a record 4th straight AA title, but they have to get past Jake Abbott and the Polar Bears, who took them down to the wire about a month ago. It was Abbott who provided the pop late in a scoreless first half. He bruises his way into enemy territory, picking up a first down for Fairmont with under 2 minutes left in the first half. Then later that drive, it's Abbott who will finish the job. Here he goes. He takes a defender with him over the goal line, too. The Polar Bears take a 7-0 lead into the locker room.
Welcome back, Nick. How impressive was North Marion tonight?
Oh, Natalie, the Huskies dominated against the Bucks. Let's head to that one now. We'll pick things up midway in the first. The Huskies' Brendan Menga pounces on a loose football. North Marion takes over near midfield. The Huskies cashed in after that fumble. Senior Tanner King takes the jet sweep in for a 9-yard score. 7-zip Huskies. Jolly again finds Andrews Evans underneath for another slam, and that's when Fairmont State became Airmont State. Matt Bingaya with the dunk. Falcons lead back to double digits. How about one more for good measure? Shamgod Wells up to Bingaya. Oh my goodness. Wells had a double-double with no turnovers. Let's head to Lincoln now, where Hope Bray had a field day in a matinee against Elkins. See what I did there, Don?
Very good.
First quarter here, all squared at 4 until Bray drains a 3. It's now 7-4 Lincoln. But late in the fourth quarter, of course, Bridgeport draws back level. It's John Merica taking it across amber waves of grain inside the Fairmont 10. And then Chapin Murphy finishes the job with a 3-yard touchdown run. We're tied at 7. And yes, we are heading to overtime. The steady showers certainly impacted play right away at East West Stadium. That's where we found our top AA game of the week. Number 1 Fairmont Senior welcomes number 9 Weir to the Friendly City. But it was an unfriendly start to things for the Polar Bears. Bryson Gilbert can't get the punt away after a bad snap on the Bears' opening drive. This gives Weir possession at the Bears' 11-yard line. But the Fairmont defense shut the door. Talon Miller breaks up a would-be touchdown, and the Red Riders are held to a field goal. Fairmont continued its tear with a dominant second half. Thomas Wimbush, this is a straight ridiculous finish. And one for Wimbush. He finished with 11. University just obliterated Park tonight. Austin Forbes gets 3 of his team-high 22 here. He had 15 in the second quarter alone. And things just get downright dirty here. Oh, my goodness. Ethan Ridgway making a fool of his defender, finishing on the break. The Hawks never trailed in this one. They rout Wheeling Park 78-43. This was the scene outside Fairmont Senior High School earlier today around noon when players boarded buses to head to Wheeling. Dozens of families, along with much of the student body, lined up to send off the football team. Now, on to those letter of intent signings. One of the most dominant high school track and field athletes in West Virginia history is staying in the state. McKenna Smith today inked her letter of intent with WVU. Smith currently owns 3 state records and has sights set on breaking a 4th in hurdles. She says she wants to specialize in hurdles as a mountaineer. Well, Natalie, all season long, Fairmont State has rewritten its own record book. But tonight, can the 20-0 Falcons continue that trend as they get set to take on another nationally ranked opponent? There's so much excitement surrounding this AA championship game that begins at 7 o'clock. And how could there not be? Fairmont Senior tonight will play for its first football championship in 70 years. Hey there, Natalie. A lot of smiling faces tonight in Monongalia County. That's because the Pittsburgh Pirates are here at Stepping Stones to celebrate. It's an early Christmas present for many of these children who play in the Miracle League here at Stepping Stones. History, records, bragging rights, you name it, all on the line tonight at Wayne Jamison Field. Class AA number 1 Bridgeport getting set to take on Fairmont Senior in a rematch of last year's semifinals. Dan, we're guaranteed to have 3 great games here at Wheeling Island Stadium over the course of the next 24 hours or so. Alderson Broaddus is here in Gilmer County to take on Glenville State in the second ever meeting of the I-79 Barrel Classic. The Pioneers defeated the Battlers 48-30 a year ago in the inaugural meeting in this series, but Glenville State has seen its fair share of troubles this season. After opening the season 3-0, the Pioneers have dropped 3 straight to level their record. I'm joined by head coach Ryan Wilson, who's been with the program now for more than 3 decades. And Coach, CB's off to a great start this season. 4 dominant wins. What's impressed you the most about this team?
It's time now for the Sports Zone, now in high definition.
Good evening and thanks for joining us inside the 12 Sports Zone. In his final year at Fairmont State, Shamgod Wells is leaving his mark by playing a sport that's embedded in his bloodline. Time now to catch up with Wells in this week's College Spotlight.
His leadership this year it's remarkable. It's made my job really easy.
Any team making a run at a national title needs a strong leader. At number 2 Fairmont State, that leader is Shamgod Wells. This season, the senior point guard from Harlem, New York, embraced a new role as 6th man after starting for 3 seasons. Wells accepted that role because it's what's best for the team and because he trusts 5th-year head coach Jared Calhoun.
Coach Calhoun told me it was going to be tough, and he told me coming as a freshman, I would have to be a leader. I would have to be these things, and I just loved his message, and I loved what he was trying to do for the town.
When Wells and Calhoun had that conversation 4 years ago, Wells didn't have a scholarship offer. Now he's the catalyst of an unbeaten title contender.
We've changed our entire system to a passing-type team, to a running team. It's a fun style of play, but without Sham leading that charge, we would not be where we're at.
Even in a revised role, Wells is still rewriting records. In January, he became Fairmont's all-time steals leader. He needs 30 more assists to set another career mark. Those records will mean more to Wells after he graduates, but right now, the Falcons are focused on winning a title.
The individual stats are great. You know, like that's stuff that I'll never forget, but the main thing that I really won't forget is winning the championship with this group of guys and letting all of us go down in the record books.
Being remembered is important to Wells, an athlete whose name bears another legacy altogether. Wells is the son of God Shamgod, one of the greatest ball handlers of all time and the creator of an ankle-breaking crossover known as the Shamgod.
The move is just, you have a defender on you, and they're playing you pretty close, and you just throw the ball out, and when they reach for it, you just snatch it back.
God Shamgod was drafted by the Wizards in 1997, and as a child, Wells watched his father's career unfold. When he's on the court, he keeps those memories in mind and plays to protect the reputation of his name.
I don't want anybody going back to their hometown or going back to their friends saying, oh, you know the guy Shamgod, you know, I scored on his son or something like that. Those are things that drive me. Those are things that I think about during the game.
But 400 miles away from his hometown, Wells has a unique opportunity to accomplish something with his, quote, basketball family. The Falcons have a shot to run the table and win a conference title in a league many call the toughest in the nation.
You know, we just really want to send these guys out in the final chapter to be able to flip that page one day and say national champions, regular season championships, maybe tournament champions. But we also know it's going to be very difficult, and Sham's got to continue to lead this team down the stretch and do what he's done all year.
No words can explain how exciting that moment was.
He usually doesn't see much playing time, but after University's win over Buchanan Upshur, junior Oliver Reed became a star. In the dying moments of the contest, he pulled off this play, a moment he'll never forget.
I had an open court. Clay Bailey got the steal. He gave me the lob. I had the ball, and I said to myself, I just have to do it. I have to pull it off. And everyone was cheering for me, and it was exciting. And I can fly now.
Several angles of the play made their way to social media, and those videos have received thousands of views. For Reed, a 5'10 guard, the play was a product of hard work. He set a goal for himself to become a better jumper because he wanted to dunk in a game.
It all paid off. It really paid off, and I just really love that feeling.
Reed letters in both basketball and cross country at University, but he's had to overcome plenty of obstacles to earn his place. Reed is autistic, but his mother says that's never stopped him from accomplishing his athletic goals.
Oliver has a lot of faith. He has a lot of faith, and he does not take his life for granted. He's very thankful, he's very grateful, and I think that if he sees an opportunity, he's going to take it.
Reed is in his second season as a player manager for the Hawks, and third-year head coach Joe Schmidl says Reed brings energy and excitement to the team.
If you work hard and you follow your dreams, that good things can happen. I think that him doing that helps the other kids on the team as well, and maybe put things in perspective as to what our goals are as a team and to where we want to go.
Reed says it's, quote, ring season for the Hawks. They're 11-0, ranked second in AAA, and are legitimate contenders for a state title. Reed hopes the Hawks can go all the way, but if anything, his play last week already proved something about his team.
Nothing's impossible. You just gotta work hard every day, dedicate yourself, and always focus about what you're gonna do with it, and you'll reach your goals in no time.
In Morgantown, for 12 Sports, I'm Nick Farrell. That famous chant echoed throughout the Falcons Center Thursday at Fairmont State, where Perry Baker fever is hotter than ever. Dozens of kids sent their best wishes to the former Fairmont State wide receiver during the school's Perry for Gold rally. As Baker heads to Rio as a member of the American Rugby Sevens squad, his former coaches say his dominance in a new sport comes as no surprise.
Well, it just proves how athletic he really is. You know, hard work, determination. When Perry put his mind to something, not too many people could stop him.
Both Ryan Dumont and Gary Lanham played a role in bringing Baker to Fairmont in 2006. They said one trait always stood out.
Speed and, you know, his knack for when he had the ball, he was able to do special things with it.
And that's a big reason why Baker is seeing success on a new frontier. Once called Stick by his Falcons teammates, Baker is now adored by rugby fans as Speed Stick. It's clear to Lanham that Baker's work ethic hasn't changed either.
You know, he was in the weight room early. He was in there late. He was always doing something to make himself better.
As local kids paraded around the Falcons Center with mock gold medals, writing notes to their new athletic hero, Baker's former coaches were reminded that this type of success couldn't have happened to a better person.
You know, everybody loves Perry. You know, all the kids, you know, the big joke was everybody loves Perry, everybody loves Perry.
Perry always loved the kids. I mean, Coach Lanham would take them to schools, middle schools, elementary schools. They would read, they would do, you know, sign autographs, play games, all that stuff. Perry was always making every trip he could out into the community to give back.
And when Rugby Sevens play begins August 9th, almost all of Fairmont will watch.
My family is really excited and just proud, and so it'll be a proud time for our family and for, I'm sure, for his, but for the area and especially my family. We can't say enough about where he's at and how proud we are.
For 12 Sports, I'm Nick Farrell.